On today's episode, if your kid catches you smoking pot, make sure you share. Don't send naked pics before the first date if you want to be serious. And there is no such thing as a midlife crisis. You're always on crisis. What's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to Advice Unfiltered with Tony Rodriguez and Christopher David, episode 8.
Oh my God, we're 8 episodes in.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
8 episodes in, everybody.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you, everybody, for joining us. As you see, we're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok, Instagram. And I say it every episode. I'll say it again. We are behind the scenes. Don't mind the green screens.
Yeah.
That's just what it looks like when you're behind the scenes, but in a really good way. If you're joining us live, if you're just coming in, we appreciate you guys. This is our...
What's up, everybody?
You guys won't be able to see it, but you'll definitely see it when you download the podcast. We have a smorgasbord of stuff we'll show you guys.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, so we started posting YouTube shorts, and for you guys who are out there, we really appreciate it. The clips have been fantastic.
Yeah, they've been great.
And they're so funny. And shout out to AI, which makes it much easier to make these clips.
Yeah.
So I make this clip, and I put it on YouTube, and I look a couple minutes later, my mom calls me, and I'm sure she's probably actually on, and she goes...
What's up, Mom?
And it's the one where we're talking about how we were broke as kids, and like we had hand-me-downs, and my mom calls me and goes, "Oh, so we were poor?" I'm like, Mom.
That's funny.
But it was like,
funny.
She was like, I go, "Mom, first of all, you were 16 and 17 as parents. You gave us an amazing childhood."
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody was kind of getting hand-me-downs and
I was. I know I was, man. I was, like I said, I was getting those big collared 70s shirts from my brother.
Oh.
You know?
But she loved it. She was laughing at that. She was laughing at the whole thing. But I could hear it in her voice going, "Oh, I just make sure you had a good childhood."
Yeah.
Everything was good.
And, yeah.
Everything was good. So, outside that, couple new things for everybody. The P.O. Box is live. I went and got the keys today.
Oh, yeah? The P.O. Box is live?
P.O. Box is live.
So we got a P.O. Box.
So what we'll do, so you guys can, buy books and get Chris a sign them.
Yeah.
Or
Tony's book. Tony's got a book too.
I only brought for fun, but seriously, if anybody wants to send us anything, fan art stuff, we love it. We want to show people. We appreciate the support. The address will be posted on the website, which goes live on Thursday.
So we got a website too?
So we have a website going live on Thursday, which you'll be able to find all the episodes, all the clips. You'll be able to submit your questions from there.
That's awesome.
And you'll be able to find the address to the P.O. Box if you want to send us any fan-related things.
Oh, that's cool shit.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So that's very cool. So anybody that's bought my book, once the website is up, you'll be able to find the P.O. Box and then mail it, and I will sign it and make sure you have a return postage on it, and I will send it back.
Yes, and hopefully, as we get bigger, what we'll do is, if we get a sponsor, we'll do a giveaway where Chris will actually fly to your city and sign your book shirtless and read at least 2 chapters.
That was never ever in any part of this contract.
We haven't talked about it yet, but
no, that's not a thing.
It's marketing. So
it's marketing, yeah.
But all right. So with that being said, let's show people. I mean, let's show people your cover of your books, like, because I don't know if people can see it.
If I can't see it, no.
Yes.
That's my book.
Yeah.
My book.
Yeah.
My book.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I appreciate everybody who's bought it. I get a lot of messages right now for people telling me that they really enjoyed it, and that it really helped them, motivate and change their lives a little bit, which is pretty fucking amazing. And it's one of the things I'm really grateful for. The fact that my my has helped people get better in their lives. That's, pretty fucking awesome, man. So I appreciate everybody buying the book. Really, thank you a lot. And again, if you liked it, just leave me a review on Amazon, because that's what pushes it forward. So I really do appreciate all the support, love, and support. It's pretty freaking awesome. So thank you.
So is it true, because everyone I've ever heard, even when I sit down to do, my book's a little different, but it takes a lot more time than people realize. People are like, oh, I'm going to write a book.
Oh, dude, it took me 6 years. And it's not even the full book. Like I still have to write more freaking but like I hated it. I'll be honest with you. I would write 2 or 3 chapters and then I would read it and I'd be like, man, who the hell wants to read this? Like it sounds like such a depressing life. You know what I mean? Like who wants to freaking read something like that? You know what I mean? And then like I said, what really helped me was I had a good friend of mine, Irene, who really didn't let me quit. You know, she was on my shit about it, and told me it needed to be written. And so I'm really honored, man. Everybody that's actually took the time to buy the book. That's just, I don't know, it's just awesome. No, it's just pretty cool. So thank you.
What was it like to actually, it takes, I remember mine took a little over 2 years, but to your point, you do a little bit of it, you think no one's going to read it, you do a little bit of think no one's going to read it. You wrote a book. So what was it like when you handed it in for the first time? Did you shop it around? Like, what is that process like? That's just interesting.
So I don't know what was harder, right? It was actually writing the book or doing the audio for the book. It was, I guess the hardest thing was not criticizing myself, right? I'm not a writer. You know what I mean? I was just writing my story and being really hard on myself. It's kind of like being an artist, right? I have to say, like writing a book, being an author, a genuine author, and writing your own first story or your own biography or whatever it is. I think it takes an artist, right, to do that because an artist does the same thing. Like, they look at their paintings and they pick out everything wrong with it, right?
Of course.
Or they pick out their sculpture and they pick out everything wrong with it. And everybody else is like, man, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And I think it's the same thing when you're writing a book. Like you just have to fucking do it. You know what I mean? And not be your biggest critic, right? Just fucking do it. And if you didn't like it, like honestly, like I'll probably rewrite this book again, because there's details that I kind of like left out. Because I honestly got to a point where I just wanted to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of it was trauma, that I went through. And a lot of the stuff I write in my book is about trauma. So it's like, hard reliving that and then keeping the same sincerity, right? Like the sincerity of it all, right? Like you don't want to just over embellish, but at the same time, you don't want to leave out certain feelings and details, right? So if you're going to write a book, like this is my honest opinion here, if you're going to write a book, is that still on?
Yeah, let's see. Can you check the live on that time?
Yeah, I don't think the live's on that one. But if you're, if you choose to write a book, I think you should just do it and just go through it. You know what I mean? And let somebody else read it. That's what I did. I let somebody else read it and edit it for me and pick out certain things and blah, blah, blah. And they sent me a finished product and then I let other people read it.
That's what you put?
Before I put it up, I let other people read it. And when I did that and they told me it was good, and they said it really hit everything. And that's when I was cool with. So I was like, let it fly, let it go, let it fly.
Yeah.
No.
And our side engineer here, Tyler, is going live. And Ty, slide it out a little bit. So
that way, yeah. There you go.
There you go. So there we go. But so I remember this. So what was it like the day they mail you the done copy? Do you remember getting it?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing because it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work in progress, right? Like so. I actually have the actual video of when I actually got the book when I first opened it, and it was crazy. It was nuts, man. It was insane to think that some guy from from a farm, we were broke too. We were middle class. I wouldn't say we were broke. I mean, I was there for a while with my mom and my stepdad, but I grew up on a farm, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Pennsylvania, and who would have thought that my book would. Not only is my book was a number 1, number 2 bestseller on Amazon for bestseller, but it's in my school.
That's awesome.
Like it's actually in my high school. You know what I mean? And it's actually in the library at my high school, which is pretty crazy. When you think about that, you know what I mean? That I got in trouble all the time at school. I always had detentions. I skipped every Monday my senior year. To think that that I'd have a book that's actually in the school that I went to is, I don't know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I remember thinking I was going to write a book and then compiling stuff, then not doing it, then doing it, then not doing it, and then as my son got older, I was like, I wanted to prove a point. So for us, it was a little different. I'm a photographer, so it was a little bit of creating art. So actually what I did is I went through and took all the photography I had of my son from the day he was born all the way to, till he had gotten a little older. And I took those actual photos and I converted them into art. So that's the way it
Well, while you're talking about it, somebody just asked, is your book Oh, they
Yeah. So my book's on Amazon.
Yeah, let me hear. Let me hold.
So that's my
This is Tony's book. Tony and his sons.
that's my actual son.
Yeah.
And what prompted me to write it, and for you guys, like there's a little artistic picture on the back of him strapped to a wall.
Oh, that's awesome. Let me show that. Hold on, let me show that.
Yeah, so it's part of like the photography that we do.
That's pretty funny.
But the thing that really got me to write it, to be honest with you, is so it's a book of poems and it's a sketchbook so kids can color in it. But the real reason I wrote it was because Tyler was forming a relationship with his stepmom. And, she was really trying to figure out, how to walk that fine line between, hey, I want to care about you as my kid, but I also don't want to step on your mom's feet.
No, that's a tough line, man.
Yeah, so
it's a tough line to balance.
So I sat down one time and I wrote this it's like 5 lines. I just put, I have a mom, I have a dad. I have both of those already. I'm not really sure what to call you or even if I'm ready. So Regina sat for a minute while Tyler scratched his head. And after some thought and thinking, this is what Regina said. How about we start from the beginning and not just jump to the end? How about we make it easy and you can just call me your friend?
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
So, and that's
pretty
where we
amazing.
started.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's very cool, man.
Yeah. So
there you go. That's Tony's book, everybody. Where can you find that at?
Right on Amazon.
Right on Amazon.
And actually, you can get it for free.
And the name of the book?
Oh, the name of the book is Tyler's Coloring Book of Rhymes and Poems, Up, Up, and Away.
Tyler's Coloring Book of Rhymes and Poems, Up, Up, and Away on Amazon.
And we made it free. You can just download for free, or it's like $4 if you just want to color. But the point of it was more to your, like, I can't even imagine writing a chaptered book. Yeah. It was hard enough sitting down writing poems and putting colors together, but I do remember the day it came in the mail done.
Yeah.
And I just was stared at it.
And that's what I did. I stared at it, man. I looked at it, I held it in my hand, I flipped the papers. I was like, wow, that's crazy. To think.
I remember that day.
You remember that day? Yeah.
He had 2 of them, so he gave me one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, they send you the author copy, so they send you like a bunch of them, and and then of course, but it was cool. To this day, I sometimes just look on Amazon for no other reason that it's just there.
Yeah, no, I don't look.
You have sales and stuff. So I just look to see.
No,
it's
I don't
there.
even look at the sales. I don't handle any of that stuff. Like none of it. I don't handle it. I let somebody else handle that.
Oh,
I don't look at it.
You.
So me when I was done, I just need to be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
walk away clean.
Yeah, I mean it was 6 years of shit that I went through. If we can, not just because of the book, but before the book even happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just like I just needed to lay it to rest for a little while. I would love to see it. Hey, anybody know anybody at Netflix? I would like to see some. They turned into a Netflix movie. Who wouldn't want to see a guy and a dog in Redemption, right?
Now, would you? Now, who would play you?
Me.
Well, I was gonna say, so for you, right?
Yeah. No. Huh?
You need someone to play young you.
That was only like 8 years ago. I just had a shave. I look young.
You could just throw on some of those dots on the green screen, and they can,
or have Brad Pitt play me.
They go back and re-age you.
Can you imagine that? Could you imagine that if Brad Pitt played me and I got to direct Brad Pitt?
No, but first of all,
That'd be so funny.
I mean, it's in a good way. Like,
so funny.
My brain can't put it together, but that's what happens, right?
Yeah, right. That'd be so funny. I mean, I'd be like, man, just so you know, everybody thinks you look like me.
By the way, did people tell you look like me all the time?
People look like me all the time because I get told that all the time. It's just funny. I don't know.
So
it's just funny.
So we brought this stuff in just to show you guys, but really because our friends, people we work with, people at the gym start sending us stuff. So you guys can't see it online, but shout out to and what's his actual name?
Well, his actual name's Gene.
Gene?
Yeah. Gene's a great guy. So there's this guy trained named Gene. He's a self-made businessman. He does bakery, does bagel stuff.
Yeah.
This is his bagels.
I think it's
we have them stacked on the table here.
Yeah.
Gene's a great guy, man. When I met Gene, he had an experience he didn't enjoy, and so his wife, it's a great story. His wife actually tricked me, right? So she came in for a consultation.
Okay.
And I took her through the consultation, did the whole thing. I did the whole thing I do with everybody else. I test them in the 4 movements and blah, blah, blah. And and he goes, I'm at the end of the thing, and I'm like, so what do you think about training? And she goes, well, honestly, I was just testing you. She goes, my husband had a bad experience here, but I want to buy him training for our anniversary.
Oh.
Right? So she wanted to buy him training for his anniversary.
Did she tell you who it was?
No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know anything about it. Freaking, you know what I mean? Like, I just knew that I did my job.
There you go.
I did my job well. She was impressed. She liked it. So what I decided to do was I got an anniversary card I said, listen, we don't have a gift card, so I'm going to get you an anniversary card. I got an anniversary card, and I went around and had everybody that worked at the gym sign it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Happy anniversary. And I said, and then I put down that this is from your new trainer at the gym. And that was a year ago. And Gene's a great guy, man. He's a great family man. Him and his wife and his kids are beautiful. But yeah, if you get a chance to try these bagels, what is it? Davidovich Bakery.
Davidovich Bakery.
Yeah, check out Davidovich Bakery.
And look, we joke about, but look, we have friends that, and we want to support them, and they're supporting us. So we got a little bagel tower on here. Yeah. So and I think it's Kevin with the pickles.
Yeah, Kevin. I forgot your pickles, bro. If you're watching, I'm sorry. I just didn't have time to go home to get it after work, man.
Episode 9
is
pickles.
Is pickles. We're bringing Kevin's Crazy Pickles is what we're doing. I apologize, Kevin. I left work. I worked from 7 to 8 tonight, dude. Bro.
Yeah.
Like I worked all. You can vouch. You came in twice, and I was there all day.
I said to you today, I was like, "Bring your book." ... Do you even have one on? Because I knew you'd have to go home.
I grabbed it this morning. I thought about it this morning. I grabbed it, but the pickles, I forgot, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So thanks to everyone, and that's why. Look, we for nothing else, we appreciate all of you guys.
Yes.
And we appreciate the support. So if you give us something and we can throw it out there, I think it's fun. So
yeah, no, absolutely, man. That's what we're here to do, right? Pay forward, right?
Yeah. So all right. With that being said, it's time to get in some questions.
Yes, it's question time.
Advice Unfiltered.
First off, let's thank everybody.
Oh, yes.
Everybody who's taking the time to submit questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
yeah,
thank you, because without you, there'd be no show.
And there's my mom. As I figured she.
Oh, your mom chimed in.
Yeah, there you
What's
go,
up,
Mom. By the way, I tried to clear it up. We weren't really poor, but we were, young and kind of broke. And by the way, she gives a shout out to my son who's playing engineer today. She said, "Love you,
cool.
Mima." I didn't even know what a Mima was until you.
You didn't know what a Mima was?
I didn't until then. The funny thing is, I didn't even know as he grew up and you're signing cards, like how to spell it. Then I'm like, is it Meema? Is it Mema? I don't know. But Mima, there's a bunch of nicknames for grandparents, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Still got no clue.
You just don't want to be called a gilf, or you probably do, to be honest with you. Like so.
Listen, enough with the dilf. Gilf. I don't know what's going on.
You get that. You still want to know you have it. So
it's true.
All right. So first off, this comes from Emma Crosby, who's YouTube is starting to blow up for us, which we really appreciate. Now the channel's up, people are starting to subscribe. It's easy to go on YouTube. So Emma wrote in, and she just wanted us to know this. Hey guys, did you know that there is actually an International Men's Day? It's November.
No, really?
I did not know this. It's November 19th. It's in the middle of Movember. Obviously, for you guys who don't know, Movember is when guys grow out their mustaches to support prostate cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a really big day here in Ireland, so shout out to Ireland.
No shit.
I don't know how widespread is it in the U.S. So she didn't have a question. She just wanted to give us out. But my question for you is, you come in with the full beard. I always rock the 5 o'clock. Did you ever just go mustache or goatee?
Yes, I had a goatee. I didn't have a mustache. I had a goatee.
Oh, you went goatee on it, huh?
I went goatee. Yeah, I went goatee. I look pretty badass with a goatee. I'm not gonna lie. I did. I look pretty badass.
Well,
I just look mean.
It's like mustaches and goatees have to be on the right person. Who's
mustaches shouldn't be on anybody.
But wait, who's the 70s?
Sorry.
Who's the 70s actor that was in
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Yes, has the 70s mustache.
He could rock it.
Yeah, he rocked it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys are rocking. Whatever, man. It's just funny they made it come back.
Still looks a
that
little
and
bit.
The mullet. Like I don't know where the mullet came back into play, but somehow it did.
What is it? Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah, business in the front, party in the back.
Well,
no, it's just that light's behind me. If we can.
All right. So shout out Chris. So next up is Christina, who likes to call herself Vine Ivy, and I believe she is. Let's see. Did she tell me where she's from? No, but Christina just said, "Hey, just shout out. I'm Vine Ivy on all my socials." So that's good. I can be a chronic procrastinator. Is there any supplement you guys like that gives you a boost that'll have you do something so I can get some energy? I love gym results, particularly because I need a trainer to keep me focused. Yeah. But I also need to not be a chronic procrastinator.
Got you, bro.
Are you a procrastinator?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Are you really?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm the biggest procrastinator ever, dude. I'm that guy who, when I got something to do, I'll wait till that night.
The last minute?
Last minute, the hour before. Yeah, I can't lie. I would love to sit back and go, oh, man, no, I get everything done right away, and my house. No. I'm a fucking procrastinator, bro.
Oh, I have to get shit done. I can't do it. So I remember the funny thing was I was learning that my son Tyler is a giant procrastinator. But this is how I found out the kids were cheating.
Teenager, bro.
Well, so I found out they were cheating in school. He comes in.
Wait, how they were doing what in school?
He was cheating in school.
He was cheating in school.
Yeah, so I found out.
You're sitting here for this, bro.
Yeah, so I found out.
You out to everybody.
So it's all honesty on this podcast.
None of his teachers are watching.
They all know. It doesn't matter.
know.
By the way, if your teachers are watching, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Right? That's cool shit. Hi, teacher. How you doing, bro?
Teachers. But no, what happened was my son comes up and I get an email from his teacher that says, "Hey, you guys are just have a heads up. Your kids have a 7-page U.S. history paper due." So I go upstairs and I'm like, "Hey, you got 7-page paper due?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I haven't started it yet." I'm like, "All right, look, you ain't going anywhere
till it's done.
Right?"
Yeah,
by the way,
sense.
also due tomorrow, but whatever. That's what. But that's what you do, right? So
I can't say I'm not. Listen, I got you, kid. I get it.
An hour later, he comes out of the room and goes, "Yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna go scoot or whatever." And I'm like,
an hour later.
An hour, bro.
Oh, an hour.
An hour.
It was an hour.
So an hour later.
Wait, hold on. We gotta let everybody know who chimed in.
Yeah. By the way, that's my son who's playing engineer with Ming today.
He's trying to defend his honor right now. That's what he's trying to do.
And by the
I'm
way,
getting blasted right now.
By the way,
wait, hold on.
Every time we talk about it, I do want to give love to the shared universe. Ming's the man.
Yeah, Ming's the
anyone
man.
ever
Noted.
Comic-Con, anyone needs any by the way, that's the best local thing that we can support is the shared universe. Anybody wants to start a podcast, Ming's the man.
Yeah.
So what happened was so he's in the done. Now I know and you know that you don't write 7 pages in an hour.
No.
So he says to me, he goes, "Oh, I just threw it in ChatGPT, checked it out, made sure it looked good," and he's like, "I'm done." So imagine
if we would have had ChatGPT.
Bro, so this is what I said to him. So I look at him and you have this parent moment where you can be like, "All right, I'm going to yell at you and make you write it over."
Yeah.
Or you just roll the dice and go, "It's kind of cool. Let's see what happens." So I said to him, "Look, I'm kind of curious to see what happens." All right, let's see what happens.
Dude, 2 days later, 100% on that thing.
100%, bro.
100%.
100% on that thing.
Now, I give him props for not doing what stupid kids do and putting it in there and just submitting it. You got to go in,
Handwrite it.
change a couple words.
Yeah.
I have a whole tactic. I have a whole process.
All you kids do.
Yeah, that's funny.
But that's why. So I don't procrastinate. But do you have any tips for Christina, who likes to procrastinate? There's no supplement for it, right?
No, there's no supplement you can take for it. I mean, Adderall. I mean, if you know what I mean? Like, it's not really a supplement, I don't know.
Yes.
It comes down to, listen.
But you still get your stuff done. You get your stuff done,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I mean? There's no, fuck it, you procrastinate, whatever. Just make sure you work out, you right. That's all.
Well, I think there's two different things. First of all, Chris may procrastinate, but he's not fucking lazy.
No,
so
I
don't
get everything
lazy.
done. Yeah, don't be lazy. No, I procrastinate, but listen.
You get your shit done.
Nobody will tell you that. Nobody works harder than me.
No, you get your shit done.
I work my ass off 13-hour days and I make sure, I'm here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I think when you say procrastinate, I just think when you put in 13-hour days, sometimes I can put that other shit off for a minute. But the only thing I actually like to take from a supplement standpoint is I stopped trying to drink coffee as much, but straight caffeine pills with L-theanine, that gets you right out of bed, and that'll give you enough energy. You don't get the shakes because the L-theanine cuts off the caffeine. But if you want a different supplement to just kind of get you some energy in the gym and not give you the shakes,
eat greens, man. You want more energy? Eat greens.
Which
eat your
ones?
vegetables. Oh, all of them. Eat on any green vegetables, man.
There
all
you go.
If you can eat them all.
You'll eat too many Brussels sprouts, you'd be walking the gym bloated.
Yeah, well, that. Yeah, I'm not saying eat a bunch, but eat greens. You know what I mean? Test it out. Eat greens, eat some green beans and some chicken. You'll feel great the next day. You'll be able to run laps.
Well, the one thing I started doing, because generally to your, and you know this because you're at gym all the time with me, now for the next probably couple of weeks, I won't eat as many carbs. Sorry. The bagel place, they look fantastic.
We're eating your bagels, Gene.
Well, I will, Gene. I got a family that'll eat them. But what I like to do now to get some energy is raw. I take a little bit of some cottage cheese or Greek yogurt in the morning, some blueberries, and a scoop of raw honey.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
And that carries me right.
Yeah,
to workout.
That's perfect, man. You can do the same thing with coconut water and what did somebody tell me? Coconut water, a little splash of lemon, and some sea salt.
Yeah.
It'll also give you a caffeine boost.
Well, you had that coconut water energy.
Coconut
really
water.
good.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out. So if we get a sponsor from Coconut Watermelon Water,
hey,
yeah, we're here, bro.
Coconut? Did you say coconut watermelon water?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was coconut watermelon water, bro.
Wow.
So good. I bought 3 cans the other day. It's not really an energy drink either. It's just
Refreshing?
Yeah, just refreshing, but it's so good.
Nothing reminds me of, well, a couple of things of summer barbecuing and watermelon. And I go
I'm
right
a
to
watermelon
summer.
freak, bro.
Oh, watermelon's so
I
good.
eat watermelon like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Watermelon,
right.
strawberries, blueberries, raspberries,
Blackberry, all of it.
blackberries. Yeah.
I love all that stuff is good. All right, Megan. The only thing I hate from strawberries is you really do, if you take them out of the container. I learned this hack on TikTok actually. If you take them out of the plastic container and wash them and put them in a glass, like a little mason jar, they don't turn a little fuzzy like the next day.
Really?
They last like weeks.
They last weeks.
Oh, weeks, bro.
Really?
Weeks.
I will have to try that.
Two tips I learned. One, wash your bananas when you get home. You'll never get fruit flies because fruit flies actually put eggs on the skin of the banana. And strawberries, wash them and put them in a mason jar and it'll last for weeks. Because otherwise you buy strawberries and then the next day one of them has a fuzzy white jacket.
Yeah.
You got thrown away. So, all right. Megan from New Jersey. We have a couple people who are like regulars at
Hold
this
on a
point.
second, man. I'm getting hot.
Ooh,
Megan
yeah.
from New Jersey.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
Can we play some shirtless music? Ooh,
Yeah, right.
Look at this. I'm glad you're on Instagram. All right. Oh,
right,
look,
listen to
my
this.
wife jumped in. Hi. My
Perfect timing.
mom, my family's here. If you just jumped in, you missed our son.
What's up, family?
Oh, there he goes. So anyways,
You missed the poem.
yeah, you missed the poem I read for
Poem.
you. You jumped
Yeah,
in late.
read the poem.
She'll have to download the podcast and subscribe.
Yes.
That's what she'll have to do. Megan from New Jersey wants to know, and shout out Megan, you've sent in multiple questions, so sometimes I see repeat people. I like pulling their questions in.
Megan from New Jersey.
Megan from Jersey.
What's up, Megan from New Jersey?
What is your thoughts on regarding men crying, and do you remember the last time you cried or
Yeah.
something that evoked emotion?
I cried this morning when I went to work. I was like, oh, God, it's freaking 6 in the morning already. Fuck.
Everybody out there was like, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, crying's good, man. I don't care. You know, I knew a guy who was one of the toughest SOBs I ever met in my life. He would cry when he would fight somebody. Like he would literally be punching somebody and it'd be like tears coming down his eyes. And I could never tell if it was enjoyment or if it was like, he was upset. But yeah, like I think he's absolutely fine. I think anybody that makes fun of that's an asshole and they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think showing emotion's fine when it's appropriate,
Having a good emotional balance in your life, and actually, to be honest, with you, getting a good cry out sometimes just
listen,
makes you
healthy.
feel better.
Yeah.
So,
healthy.
all right. So, yes, Megan, yes, your man's allowed to cry as long as he doesn't cry more than you. And
Yes,
every day.
yeah, I agree with that. As long as he's not crying more than you, and he's not whining, like listen, it's like a parent dies or whatever, man. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, it's been there's a lot of things that can make you cry, and you should embrace those things. I say all the time to family members I know that really struggle on certain days. I'm like, cry, get it out.
Is it a proven fact that if you hold in your internal emotions, that it causes cellular damage sometimes? Freaking people get sick or they get
Men die on average, like 10 years earlier? It's probably because we pent up all of that
aggression.
Yeah, all
that pain and agony.
Yeah, all that pain sits there and eats you away and kills you early. It's like the new Bill Burr stand-up I just saw, and it's called Drop Dead, but he talks about how he's in this age range from 50 to 60 where you're too young to die, but you're not surprised when one of your friends drops dead.
Yeah, because he's like, is he 60? I thought he was 55.
He's in his 50s,
Yeah.
but he goes, but it's always a guy. He's
always a dude.
You never see a woman grabbing her chest after a margarita going, Margaret just fell to the ground.
Yeah, right.
It's always a dude.
It's always a dude.
All right. Daphne from Haiti comes back in. Haiti, shout out.
Shout out to Haiti.
And by the way, I think Haiti is where, who's the girl from, Lauryn Hill. I think Rihanna? One of them two is from Haiti, living in Haiti. Thought about that the other day.
Better Google that.
Yes.
Or you look really bad.
One of you two are from, and if not, I think you've been to Haiti. All right, so she just wants to know, I guess, after reading your book, what is the name of your dog?
Oh, O'Malley.
You still have O'Malley?
No, O'Malley passed away 4 years ago. Yeah, that was a sad day, man. That was when was COVID? COVID was like 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. It was during COVID. He passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, he lived a long life, man. He lived 10 years. He was a great dog. His stomach twist, and they couldn't do anything because he was anemic, which is something in sheepdogs. When trauma happens, they get anemic, and so he was anemic. So they couldn't do surgery because they're afraid he was just going to bleed to death. So, but yeah, he was a great dog, man. He was an amazing dog. I got another O'Malley, and That's actually at my ex-girlfriend's house. He's not as good as the first one. He's not as good as the first O'Malley, but he's a great dog. Old English sheepdogs are good dogs. If you get a chance to get one, you should get one. There's a lot of work, a lot of maintenance. Yeah, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of maintenance. But they're fun. They're good, loyal dogs. They like to play. They're energetic. They like to sleep.
I'm particularly fond of dogs with no maintenance. So we have
they're big maintenance, bro.
We have a miniature golden labradoodle, a miniature labradoodle.
Wait, you can't. You gotta.
I know.
You gotta tell the dog's name.
You
gotta listen to the dog's name.
So the dog's name originally is Parker. And then I decided, and this is a little bit what we do. And then Parker turned into Sparkle. Sparkle turned into Sparkle Nuts. Now the dog's name is just Nuts. Yeah. And the funny thing is I thought my wife eventually would just be like, "Why are you calling the dog I found Parker Nuts?" But he's all he answers to.
So he answers to.
And now we lovingly call him Nuts or Sparkle Nuts.
That's so funny.
So it is strange so when you have company you don't really know, and they come in like, "Oh, that's our dog Parker, he's fine." An hour later you forget and you're in the house going Sparkle Nuts.
Sparkle Nuts.
And
that's funny.
People are looking at you like, what the hell's going on?
Sparkle Nuts.
Sparkle Nuts, baby. He's the best.
That's the best.
So golden doodles, they don't shed. They're hypoallergenic. Love it. I don't know if I could go back to a dog that sheds. It would drive me crazy.
No, the only sheepdog doesn't really shed, but you got to comb their hair like 2 hours a day every day. I remember when I got him, man. When I first one, I bought it from my ex-girlfriend, the puppy, and I didn't know all this. Excuse me. And I took him home, and then we're like reading about it, and they're like, "This is a great story, actually." They're like reading about it, and they're like, "You got to brush your hair 2 hours every day." And I'm like, "Man, I don't comb my hair." I was like, like I literally get out of the shower and I do one of these, and like
you're good to go,
and I'm good to go. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I don't do my hair, and I'm like, "You expect me to shave this?" Like, so I was the girl that I got him for. I kept telling her, I'm like, "Yo, man, you need to comb this dog's hair." You know what I mean? And I was like, if you don't, I'm going to shave him. And she didn't do it. And he was getting like little butt nuggets hanging from his hair and stuff like that. So I took him to the dog groomer and shaved him.
Completely down,
right?
Wow.
She came home from work and she goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you got another dog." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "I can't believe you got another dog. We already have the 3. I can't believe you got another dog." And I look at her and I go, "Jocelyn, that's your dog." Dude, she went from yelling at me to falling on her knees.
Cried?
Oh, what did you do to my dog? Oh, I wish I would have caught it on camera because it would have went viral. It was so funny. She was so mad at me. It's probably the reason she left.
I used to do random stuff like when Parker turned 3,
right now.
My wife went to work. I propped him up with some pillows. I put alcohol in his hands. I spiked up his hair. I colored it. And then I shot pictures on YouTube, on Facebook, and just said that I took him to a doggy strip club because he had turned 21.
That's so funny.
And then, let's see, I've gone to the groomer and done him green. But I get too much flack when I get home.
Well, it was really expensive for me to shave him. It was like $210, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. So I would shave him myself.
Yeah.
And I would give him a full-on mohawk from like really from the top, like a big one all the way down his back and his spine. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a good dog.
Yeah, dogs are the best.
Dogs are the best.
Dogs are the best.
Yes.
Cats are aliens. All right. I say it all the time.
I agree.
Anita from the Netherlands, shout out to you because you came back again asking questions, which is great. Let's see. What advice would you give yourself if you could travel back in time, and why?
The advice I would give myself?
Yeah.
What's the advice you would give yourself?
I think if I went back, well, first of all, I always think of this question when people ask. I would never change anything because no matter how fucked up shit is, we're here.
Yes.
Right. So it all kind of works itself out.
Yeah.
The only advice I think about this because, and you're probably in the same boat with you having, your son's 25 and 10, and my son's, going to be 17. I start thinking of the advice I would give myself and give it to him. Yeah. So a lot of it has to do with saving money, putting money away, wanting to retire early. And then the other thing is there's just, I think that's the big ones. I want him to experience whatever he wants to do. I don't think he should know what he wants to do. I didn't know what I want to do still to this day. But, I think if I ever went back in time, the one thing I would just tell myself is it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Just all you got to do is just keep moving forward no matter what you got to deal with. And at the end, it'll all work out. And that's just the way it's kind of been. So,
yeah.
What about you?
Probably a 2-part. I would tell him to not worry about women. Focus on
Focus on
making
you.
money. Focus on making money. And don't get all wrapped up in that. And then the second part of that is I would tell myself not to listen to anybody, not take advice from anybody of what they think I should be doing, and really just listen to myself. Because honestly, that's what got me here. Was I listened to everybody. They told me what I thought I should be doing, and we could have met sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things could have been a lot different. We could have met sooner. We could have been doing this a lot sooner. Like if I would have listened to, that's what I've learned, and that's really what my book's about. Not to go back to that, but is listening to that inner voice and listening to what you want, and not what's based on somebody else's insecurities and what they think you should be doing. It's not their life, man. It's yours. You know what I mean? So live it to your fullest, dude. Because a lot of the stuff that I did when I was younger, jobs or whatever, was based on what my parents thought I should be doing, what whoever I was dating thought I should be doing that made them feel safe. And it wasn't based on what I wanted to do, man. So my biggest advice would be, man, if you get to do anything, if you take anything from this question, listen to yourself, trust in you, and chase your dreams, man. Because again, I wouldn't be sitting here with Tony and Ming and his son and everybody if I didn't chase my dreams. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? So so chase them. Believe in yourself. Do it.
Yeah, and think about all the people that after they tell you it's a shitty idea, it's not going to work, who's going to listen? Then all of a sudden we're 8 episodes in and people are like, oh, you know what you should do? I'm like, no, I don't want to know because
I don't care.
I don't
give a
need
shit.
your advice now.
You know what I mean? I don't need your advice. You were, like perfect example. We talked about this earlier. Like I made posts on, I was responding to negative comments, right?
But you were responding positively.
And positively,
to
like
your
I was
credit.
using them as educational moments,
Yes,
right? Like I was
absolutely.
showing them that they're being stupid by taking the time to make a comment.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's more about
Trolling
them
the trolls.
it's more about them being who they are, not about me, right? And then people told me I shouldn't do that. Like, no, don't do that. Don't feed into the negative comments. Don't. And because of that, I have had psychotherapists reach out to me that told me that what I was doing was exactly how people should handle things, and that it's a great example. I've had celebrities reach out to me and follow me because they think my content is good because of the way I handled those situations, and my social media has grown, right? So if I would have again listened to what other people thought was cringy or I shouldn't be doing, I wouldn't have more opportunities that are opened up, not just for me, but for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, believe in what you're doing. And again, I love that saying. I love that saying. Listen, if your ideas aren't crazy and your friends aren't looking at you, you're fucking nuts, then you're not thinking big enough.
It's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah.
Go ahead, audience. Chime in.
I just
want
to say one thing.
Go ahead.
My dad has one really big piece of advice. He's told me for the past like what? I
Don't
think
even
it's been-
remember.
No,
Somebody was
yes, you
listening.
do.
Wrap it up.
Somebody was listening. right.
You told me. You told me two things.
Okay, what'd I
over the
tell you?
past like 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Is never send a dick pic and always keep yourself wrapped up.
That's it.
You said that.
Hey, I'm
It's
a
good
good
advice.
I'm good
It's
advice.
It's good advice, bro. It's sound advice, bro.
Hey,
It's been
Sound
saying that
advice.
4 years.
Yes.
advice
Yes.
unfiltered even goes home to the family.
Yeah. At least he was listening.
Yeah, well,
something stuck.
all right, and the last one, and before we get into the regular questions, we all know who this one's from.
Oh, Connie.
Oh, Connie.
I bet you Connie's watching.
But Connie is watching. And
Connie's watching.
But Connie, actually, to her credit this time, she has a regular question. So, not
that's
that
cool.
all her questions aren't regular, but all right, I don't want to bulk up. I just want to
You
tone.
won't.
I want to tone my yeah, right. So they always think that.
I always think that you're not going to bulk up.
I want to tone my legs, my arms, and my cute ass. I also need to get rid of my tiny pooch. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'1" and 122. I feel like part of her question is almost like, hey, I got a cute
Check me out
ass.
on 5'1".
5'1", 122. Got a cute
we're
ass.
on you, Connie. We're on you.
But anyway, she just wants to lose 10 pounds. Is there any way, what's the easiest way to lose 10 pounds if you want to have your abs back?
Eating.
Yeah.
Eat your protein. Eat your protein. Stay away from any kind of white carbs, starches, and stuff like that. Eat your vegetables. And the stomach. Listen, the stomach's not made in the gym. Abs aren't made in the gym. They're made in the diet. They're made in what
In
you
the
eat.
kitchen.
Yeah. Stay away from salts. Stay away from sugars. And up your protein. You're 121 pounds, and you should be having about 118 to 120 grams of protein a day. And just work, man. Just do the work. Do the exercises.
Yeah, I think when people get that light, it's true, and you know this from dealing with so many people in the fitness side. When they're 5'1", 122, I would almost put a lot of money on it. They're probably at 1,500 calories, which is not helping you feed the machine.
No, you got to feed the machine, man. You got to feed. You got to eat it. You know, so you high protein. The golden rule is 1 gram of protein per body weight, right? And listen, women, I need you all to hear me, please. You will not bulk up. The only way you'll bulk up is if you take some extra additive stuff, and and you eat like 4,000 calories. And none of you are doing that.
No, and
4,000 calories a day. It's not happening.
I don't. It's so funny that rumor persists for women. You can, unless you're shooting steroids somewhere.
Unless you're on something, you're not gonna. It's the same with guys. Like I mean, guys can get in shape. Like, I mean, look at me. Like freaking like.
You always joke.
I've been trying to get big for years. Like fuck. Yeah.
But yeah, so I would just say look at your calories. But to Chris's point, it's all diet. So just
it's all diet.
Find out how many protein you're eating, and you'll be surprised. You're probably under eating by a lot.
Yeah. So, exactly.
All right. In the news, this came in. This is funny because me and you go down this rabbit hole occasionally. Jenny from New Jersey. What do you think?
Jenny from New Jersey. It sounds like a song.
Jenny from
New Jersey.
Well, it's Jenny from the Block.
Jenny from the Block. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to sing that one.
By the way, did you know, random fact, that Google image search only exists because Jenny from the Block, or Jennifer Lopez, wore that ridiculously sexy green dress at the Oscars, I think, or the Grammys, one of the two. Mm-hmm. And because so many people searched to look her up to what she looked like, Google created the image search because of that one picture. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, people just wanted to see her what she wore because...
I bet you got no royalties for that, did you, J-Lo?
It would be... I thought about that. I was like, shouldn't she get paid for that?
She might get some royalties for that. I would look into that. There might be a lawsuit going on.
Yeah, so she wants to know, what do you guys think of the Egypt news?
Oh, wow. Oh,
crazy.
Wait, who asked this?
Jenny from New Jersey.
Jenny from New Jersey asked about the Egypt. We were actually talking about this.
Yes, that's why I saw it, and I was like, we got to ask.
So let's get into what it is, right?
Yes, go ahead.
So supposedly, they did what, LiDAR, right?
It's some new
type of
fancy
LiDAR, right?
LiDAR stuff.
So what it does is shoots images of what's underneath the ground. And they found, I think it's 6 or 8 pillars.
It's not only pillars. I actually saw the diagram today.
Right? They go down to this huge square blocks.
Well, here's what's interesting I saw today. They did a diagram of what it looks like. So you're right. So it's pillars that come down from the pyramid.
With a little spiral, right?
Oh, like 6,000 feet into the ground.
Yeah.
And then what it is they land in blocks. But originally they thought maybe water. But now what they think is the entire city of Egypt was built underneath the pyramids. They were showing I meant to send it to you today. It's bananas.
That's crazy. So this might if nobody understands the importance of this, is that this could actually not only just be the biggest discovery in the 20th century, but it could also rewrite history.
It would go Egypt, Ozempic, right close.
Like
real,
right?
No, but people have been thinking about what do they mean? How long does civilization? Then it would just turn out that realistically, and by the way, we don't need to go around now. But for all of you who are like, what are you guys talking about? They cut those blocks. Nobody knows how they do it. They put them together. Nobody's how to do it. We can't do it today.
Built deeper than we could, possibly at all in that time frame.
Could never do
Never do it.
And all of a sudden it comes out that it might be whole city, because originally it was a power plant.
Yes.
And then it went to power plant. And then today they think it's actually a cross section.
At this point, it doesn't really matter what it is.
It's just awesome.
It's just awesome, right? It doesn't matter if it was a power plant. It doesn't matter if it was an underground civilization. The fact, the point will always be that it predates anything we know.
Anything.
Yeah.
So Jenny, it's fascinating.
That's cool. You asked that question, Jenny. We want to keep updated on that. So if anybody hears anything about that, let's keep updated. I want to keep that going. But yeah, it's amazing, man. That's a huge thing, man.
And it breaks. And the funny thing is, when she asked the question, and I know me and you got geeked about it.
Yeah, we got geeked about it. We got geeked out a little bit.
It's someone else had asked a question, and it's in here somewhere, and it was about, I'll give you credit when I go back and look in here, whoever you are. But it was, do you guys battle with stereotypes because people think you're good looking? And by the way, that's people tell us that. So I'm just saying, and I thought about this.
Is this a question?
It was a question somebody asked us.
What they asked?
They asked, do you feel like because people judge you on your looks that there's stereotypes about you? And one of the things was, I'd say this nicely, I'm really fucking smart.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's a stereotype. I love this kind of shit.
Yeah, no, I guess. People, I had somebody say to me the other day, I was talking about, life things on one of my posts.
Yeah.
And I used the words, it's like a fingerprint or a certain type of walking. Like everybody has a different type of walking, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does, right? And when I went into work, they were like, "Wow, man, you're really smart." I was like, thanks. I I'm so, you know,
Yeah, like you don't know how to take it because people are like, "Oh, you really?" I'm like, "Yeah, like."
Yeah, no, I don't know if they think I'm stupid.
Yeah,
but I think they think that I'm a certain way, right? Like I think a lot of people, and excuse my French, think I'm an F boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I'm some guy who goes around and sleeps.
And by the way, I
around
say it not because I think you're a fuckboy. I just
no,
people just make comments.
People make comments. You know what I mean? I think people think that I just, you know, I'm just out there doing my thing, and I'm not. Like I'm not that guy at all. So yeah, I think there's some stereotypes that go with it that people assume things, you know, but whatever, that's on them, man. Listen, underestimate me. Think what you want to think. I know who the hell I am, bro. You know what I mean? Like I know who I am. I don't need you to tell me who I am. So if we can, like, you know, think what you want to think, make whatever judgment you want to. But at the end of the day, man, if you sit down, like, you know, Tony, like me and you were great friends. If you get to know me, I'm a pretty decent, normal human being.
Yeah.
You know. So,
yeah, so that's why I was wondering. It kind of like fed into that same question. So
yeah, that was a good question. I like that one.
All right, Josh from Boston. But Josh says he got really anxious after his date ended and texted the girl immediately. Now he's scrambling, wondered if he moved too fast. The question is, how soon is too soon to text after a date?
Okay, here's the thing. If you have that feeling in your stomach
that you did something wrong,
that you're anxious about doing something, you're like, oh man, here's the thing. There's a difference between good anxious and bad anxious, right? Like good anxious, like, oh, I can't wait to text her, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, but then if you're not thinking that and you're thinking, oh man, I don't know. Like, am I going to hear from her? Is she going to message me? Did she have a good time? If you're thinking stuff like that,
it didn't go well.
Don't text it. Don't say a fucking thing, man. Like let it go, and then, you know, text her in the morning, say, you know, hope, or, you know, listen. Here's another thing too. Here, go scratch this back.
Yeah.
If you drive separately, it is okay for you to message and say, hey, I just want to say, see if you got home safe.
Oh, that's a good one.
Totally okay.
That's
actually a
actually
very legit thing to do.
That's a good little and
if you get a response, then you know it went well, right? Yeah. You know, and plus it shows you're not a creep. You know,
when you go on dates now, and I wouldn't know because it's been so long, but if you go on dates, do you find it's just easier to just meet there, or do you find people still kind of expect you to pick them up? Is it depending?
I think in this day and age, people beat, right? I haven't been on any dates, so I don't like in years.
He's been focused.
Yeah, I've been focused on work, but I think either way is fine, you know. But I think now in this day and age, especially with the way things are, I think most people meet at the place. Yeah, just meet at the place. They want it safer, you know, especially if you've never met the person before. You know, meet in a public place and you get to, you know, talk to them and stuff like that. But if you've already built a rapport, like, you know, a pretty good rapport, then I think it's cool too if somebody picks you up and takes you with them.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree. I particularly would only pick somebody up if I already kind of knew them and met them. Like, you know, if somebody introduces you and you kind of have a little bit of a relationship. But it is important and always will be important for women to keep their head on a swivel. It so sucks to say that. Yeah. And really make sure people know who you are, because there's a lot of creepy guys out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking batshit women, and I don't know I want everybody in my car.
Yes, there is a lot of batshit crazy women.
I'll meet you there, and then we'll figure it out. But when I was dating, what I always do is go to I would go into Tom's River for this place called the Office Lounge. And that's what I always meet, like it's a very regular, just a bar.
Just a bar.
And I only would go on dates with you after that, depending on how you treated the waitstaff. Like watching you interact with the bartender and the waitress.
That's a good test, man. I like that.
I got to know those people, so they were really, it was nice. I was a regular, I lived in that town, but watching them interact and how they did that, I just kind of a little bit of a tell for me about what type of person they were.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. I like that, man. I like that. That's a good thing.
All right, Maria from San Diego.
Whale's vagina.
Stay
San
classy.
Diego means, man. Stay classy. Stay classy, San Diego.
Me and my son just watched Step Brothers before we got here. Not Anchorman, but, you know.
Step Brothers. Did we just become best friends?
She felt chemistry on a date, but then she was questioning whether her date's true intentions. She wants to know, how do you know if someone genuinely likes you or just wants to have sex with you?
That's a situational thing, right? Yeah, that's a hard thing. You never really know. I guess. Listen, for women, it's a little bit easier because you control it, right? You control 100% control whether or not dude's getting laid or not. So you guys control that, right? So I think it's easier for women to weave through that, because you can see, you can tell him no the first couple of nights and see if he still is interested in calling you.
Good call.
You know what I mean? Or text and see if he puts as much effort into it if he knows that he's not getting it. You know what I mean? That's a great way to test to see if he's into you. Mm-hmm. Because if he's just into getting laid, then he's not gonna do the work, man.
No,
he's not. He's not gonna. But if he's into you, he's gonna shoot the texts. The good morning, the blah blah blah. But if you lay it out right away, say, listen, man, I want to know you. I'm not sending, pictures and videos of my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sex talks is fine, but lay some boundaries right away. If you're looking for something serious anyway. Like if you're if you're not, then game on.
Well, I think about the challenge with online, especially if you meet a person online. What I found from online dating was because you exchange emails and text messages before you meet, and generally probably like days of it, you go on these dates with people and they feel like they've known you for a while. So that barrier to entry of being naked really dissolves very quickly.
Yes.
Where if like you just met somebody at a grocery store and decided to go on a date, you wouldn't have like days of chatting and talking.
Yes.
So I would just say be careful what your communication is going into your first date. If you're already sharing naked pictures of yourself and booty holes,
then you've already established the game plan.
You've opened the door.
You've opened the door. Game on.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a relationship, play hard to get.
Yeah. So your point, you control it.
Yeah. So you control it, women. You guys control that stuff.
100%.
I mean,
all right. Let's see. Lauren from New York.
What's up, New York?
She was on a date. She accidentally overshared and now wonders if she ruined her chances. Her question is it okay to talk about exes on your first date?
No. Straight up, no. You do not talk about your exes on the first, the second, the third, the fourth. Maybe.
At some point.
Maybe eventually at some point, but like, no. I don't want to hear. Listen, if we're on a date, I don't want to hear about your fucking ex. I don't want to hear any of that shit. I want to hear about you. I want you to tell me about you. I want to hear about how amazing you are. I want to hear about what you like, the things you do. What drives you? Why do you work the job you do? What was your family like? I don't want to hear nothing about your ex, man. Nothing. As far as I know, you were a virgin when I met you.
That's it. I think people forget the nice part about dating somebody new is you can be anybody you want to be. You don't have to. Your past doesn't have to be a part of what your future is.
Yeah.
So
leave it where it belongs, man.
Yeah, leave it there. And the thing is, if you learn things from your exes, fine, bank them and learn them. But you just don't need to put that onto your next relationship.
No. Listen, I've been in this situation already. Or somebody just sat there and talks about their ex, and it's like, all you want to think about is, man, that sucks. And then you question, like, if it's just like, was it all him?
That's a,
you know what I mean? Was it all him, or was it like the way you react about it? Was it you? Like, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that was a good question.
I remember when I met. I was laughing. I remember when I met my son's stepfather. Like one of those first interactions when you're doing an exchange. One of those deals. And he had asked me a question about his, about Tyler's mom, and I just go, as I said to him, and I still stand by today. I go, look, when you break up with somebody, you have a right to tell whatever story you want. So that person has their story. You've got your story. I am
definitely the villain in everybody's story.
But that's the way it is. So I was like, there's no need to exchange X stories because you can put whatever spin you want. You got to start. You got to start anew.
Start anew.
Start anew.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my
relationship.
relationship.
Dirty socks in the new relationship.
Yeah. So okay, Olivia from Portland, Oregon.
What's up, Portland, Oregon?
All right. She's been dating somebody for 2 months and wonders, is that enough time to introduce her family to her new boyfriend?
2 months?
2 months.
Yeah. I mean, why not? 2 months is good. I think it depends. Again, that's a situational thing. Like, how close do you feel? Like, and again, does he want to meet your parents? You know what I mean? That's a kind of discussion to have too. Like, I've been in situations already where like I got invited to things thinking it was just me and her, and then I meet like the whole family.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I was not expecting this. You know what I mean? Like, I remember my ex-wife invited me down to her brother's graduation. I never met her parents before, right? Didn't know what her parents did. Didn't ask. Didn't care. Didn't matter. You know what I mean? If you can. And I was like, what should I wear? And she tells me to wear these camouflage shorts. They're like gray camouflage shorts. And this skull T-shirt that I had, right? That was like had a skull on it. It was like gray, but it was like a V-neck,
Okay.
So it wasn't like trashy. It was like, it was like,
By the way, she
stylish.
also picked your outfit out.
Yeah, it was stylish, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sure I'm meeting your parents, man? She's like, don't worry about it, man. They're from Wisconsin. No big deal, So I'm like, all right. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go meet this farmer family from Wisconsin. Is what I'm thinking, dude. And I pull up in front of this $1 million mansion. and everybody's wearing like khaki shorts and polo shorts, and nobody's got tattoos.
They got a sweater tied around their neck.
Yeah, dude. And dude. It was like a golf club, like you know what I mean, like a high end golf club. And there I am wearing a skull T-shirt, tattoos sticking out, with camouflage shorts, bro. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I don't fit in at all. I mean, there was nobody there with tattoos except her and me. And yeah. So then I remember this girl kept asking me questions. This couple kept asking me questions. They're like, and I didn't realize they were grilling me to see who I was and what I was doing. And here she was supposed to marry their son.
Oh.
There was this whole family thing on that was for years. This other couple was trying to hey,
you really got involved.
Oh yeah, because they had money. They had money. So she wanted to get the son involved, and and then I asked her to marry me before I met them. Right?
Okay.
So I told her, I said, listen, man, don't you say anything to them. And let me ask your father. Now I realize this guy's a big dig, a big deal. Let me ask your father. Let me do the appropriate thing. And she gets a nice buzz going on, and she freaking holds up her hand. She goes, guess who's getting married?
Oh.
Dude, the whole room went quiet. Quiet, bro. And I'm standing there, and everybody looks at me, and I'm like, and they just kind of scattered. I go, oh my God, that just happened? I'm like, that just freaking happened, man. I'm like, oh my freaking God.
That's a scene out of a movie,
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, dude, I was like, oh my God. So then I went outside. I'm like, I went outside. I got a 7 to 7. I'm like, I just can't believe this just freaking happened. I don't even get a chance to meet these people in a proper light. Here I am wearing camouflage fucking shorts, bro, and a skull T-shirt. You know what I mean? And she comes out and she goes, hey, I want you to spend the night. My parents have 7 rooms. We can have a room. I was like, no, I'm not spending the night. Did you just see what happened in there? Everybody left me. I was like,
everybody bailed.
I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable right now. I am leaving, and I left. So yeah. So listen here. Again, the whole back to the question: communication is key. Ask if he wants to meet your parents.
I just have this image from a movie of this really highfalutin family, and here comes the crazy daughter with the biker boyfriend just rolling in on a motorcycle.
That's exactly what it was like, bro. It's exactly it was terrible. I literally called her when I pulled up to the house. I was like, I think you gave me the wrong address. And she's like, oh no. And I forgot this part. She was in a nice little sundress.
Oh, she was dressed nice.
Oh yeah, she was dressed nice, dude. She was dressed nice. I was the only one that looked like freaking, trash, bro.
Like you worked on the grounds.
Yeah, I just
worked there.
My car broke down. I just pulled up and knocked on the door. You know what I mean? It was so bad.
Can we help you?
I looked like such a fool, man. It was so bad, so bad.
Diego from Austin, Texas. So Diego, he hooked up with his friend, and now things are different. He wants to know: does casual sex always complicate friendships?
No.
I say no as well.
Mm-mm.
I say no as well.
Mm-mm. No, casual sex doesn't.
When you're
you're
17, you have no clue.
You're trying to jump in
I've seen movies. No, it complicates it. I have friends who told me.
No, we're not, dude.
No. You just don't know. You don't know what you're doing yet.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing yet, bro. That's all. You will one day.
No. I mean, no.
No, it doesn't complicate things at all.
No.
You get. No.
If you suck at managing that, and but no. I mean, I literally, when I read the question, I immediately went to say the normal, oh yeah, but then I thought about it and I go, no.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. The only way it complicates things is if you let it complicate things.
Yeah, if you let it.
If you let it. It is what it is, right? So don't put too much into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I think that might be on you for fucking that up. So
somebody wrote it does at 17. You're right.
It does at 17. Yeah, 100% it does.
100% it does, bro.
Yeah, you don't know how to. You don't even know how to. I'm not gonna get into it right now.
Yeah,
we can't be airing out our family discussions on
it's so
air.
funny. That'd be so funny.
Yeah. All right. So Laura from Nashville. She by the way, shout out Laura, who moves to Nashville right after she divorces to get back into the world. Nice. And but her challenge is: have you ever moved somewhere and now you have to figure out as an adult how to create meaningful friendships? You've moved around a little bit, right?
Oh, I moved a lot.
Do you find that friends usually come from work? I mean, it's an easy place.
My place is, yeah. I mean, where I work out and being in a gym and it's like a resort gym, so it's an easy thing to find friends, right, or people. At the same point in time, you don't want to mix friends and work. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think because a lot of times if people put on a show at the job and then are different at home. I think if you put yourself in situations to meet people, it's easy.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
We talked about it at we had a family function this weekend, and my mom, who's probably still on there, I kept said it to her. I go, it's not about where you live. It's not about who you know. It's about getting out of the house and just go. Just force yourself to go sit at the bar and get something to eat.
Yeah.
Just get out. And
even a coffee shop, or a nice stroll in the park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Depending on where you live,
Well, my mom got out today, and after all that advice, she met somebody randomly. They exchanged numbers in the Costco line shopping for groceries. Yeah. So she called me today, met somebody in line, kind of like oddly, like weirdly hit it off, and then they got to the parking lot, and she's like, I really should have got his number, and then went over and got his number. And I was like, shout out, Mom.
Here's a good question. Does anybody actually give out their number anymore, or they go follow me on social media?
Well, I think at her age, that's no phone numbers. I
understand your mom, but I'm just saying in general. Like, if you can do people like, actually go and change numbers, then
I'll ask the child, but I know what it's going to be. It's Snapchat.
Yeah.
It's Snapchat, it's Instagram, and it's a phone number, but that's really rare.
But what do you say? Like, hey, do you want to exchange snaps?
No, so it's like you'll walk up to a girl, you're like, yo. It's like a hi.
Yo.
I thought you looked really pretty.
Do you dabber?
No. Dabber? What? What are you talking about?
So go ahead. Wait,
you walk up, you just be like, hey.
Give us your pickup. Go ahead.
I thought you looked really good.
Go ahead.
Can I have your snap?
Can you have your snap? That's what I'm saying.
Is that...
So I want my snap what?
If you're not confident with it, you go with the Instagram, because any girl will give out her Instagram for
because they want follows,
Yeah. Snapchat's like a little bit more personal.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Snapchat, you can also find everyone. I think you can on Instagram, but Snapchat, you can definitely find anybody you snap, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like if they're near you, so you don't want to give it a stalker your snap.
That's pretty funny.
All right. So so for anyone out there who's younger, you got what's your snap? I love it.
Be like, yo, baby.
And actually, it's probably the way to do it nowadays. So while I'm laughing at it, it's probably the right way. So shout out Snap. And by the way, I know that so that when he was little, I winded up taking some of the photography money. I was like, I'm going to put some money in some savings for him. Mm-hmm. And the first stock I bought for him was Snapchat.
Smart man.
Because it's all used.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I guess when he gets older, hopefully this thing is big. So
it's funny because people in other countries use WhatsApp and Telegram.
WhatsApp's the most popular app in the world, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's all people
By the way,
use.
I don't have either of those things, so I don't have Telegram. I don't have WhatsApp. So if anybody's messaged you saying, "Hey, talk to me on Telegram," I don't have that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny when you leave the United States. Apple's not the biggest cell phone, and WhatsApp is like the big, and there might be another one, but they're the biggest way to communicate.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I just saw. Oh, where did you go? Oh, yeah, here it is. Amber from Salt Lake City, Utah.
I always wanted to go to Salt Lake, Utah.
I heard it is beautiful, and if you're a big skier or snowboarder,
a great whitewater rafting too. I heard.
Yeah,
and they got great hikes. So I'd like to go to Utah.
There's Salt Lake, and there's one other one out in Utah I looked into going to, and every time I wind up doing one of those Marriott vacation clubs, and you pay $100 and you get a discount.
Yeah.
And I never take the vacation and lose $100, but one of them's in Utah. And I always try to finagle to go, but you got to fly into this airport to another airport to
of course. Then they're going to sell you a camera on the way.
Yeah. So, but wants to know, how old were you when you had your first job? I want my son to start working, but my husband and I feel different. About when he should start working. By the way, this is the surprising part of this question. He's fucking 20 years old.
Fucking right now? The fuck kind of question is that? Wait a minute. You want to know how he's 20 years old?
The husband doesn't want him to work yet. That's the craziest thing to me.
Where was that parent when I was growing up?
I wonder if it's Utah. And Amber, no offense, I don't know if it's a Mormon thing, maybe, because it's Utah.
Would they have social media?
I have no idea. But you got to have a job. Bro, you got
20 years old, get a fucking job, bro.
You can't be.
No, I'm sorry. I had a job at 13. I was 13 years old when I had my first job.
So what was your first job?
Mowing grass.
Mowing the lawn.
Mowing lawn. That's how I bought my first weight set, man. I bought my first weight set with the $25 that I had from mowing grass at a yard sale. This guy had these old cement plastic weights, and he wanted $100 and something for him, and I was like, I got $25. And
he's like, deal.
And he goes, I don't want to carry him back in the garage, so deal, you can take him. It was like 300 pounds worth of weights, man. So I took it, and that's when I started working out. But I've been working since I was 13 years old. I don't think there's a time in my life from the time I was a teenager that I didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 14, and my first job was cooking cheesesteaks on the Casino Pier Boardwalk in Seaside Heights. And now that
Like a
by
much
the way,
cooler job than mine.
greatest job ever. And now I can say, because it's years later, we used to just give free food to all the people who worked on the boardwalk. And then when we would go to the games, they would let us win the games.
Yeah.
So me and my brother had
That's awesome.
we had a racket for like years.
That's awesome.
And so I'm sorry anyone out there who now knows that we used to give all the food away. But then when I really think about looking back,
Is it even open?
yes, but who knows what ownership it is
We
now.
don't know who you are.
But here's the best part. I look back and I'm 14 cooking on a flat top grill,
Oh, yeah.
serving food to people. No thought in the world. Nobody cared.
No.
Not
Dude, I was push mowing. I wasn't even sitting on a lawn riding mower. My parents literally would drop me off with a jug of water, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I would push mow 3 acres. That was like half of it was on an angle, like at a 90-degree angle,
yeah.
and I'd have to walk against it to push it around the angle of the thing. Like, and if anything would happen, nobody know. It wasn't cell phones.
Yeah.
Nobody's calling me.
Nobody's.
I'd show up and be all
Lost an
chopping to
arm.
pieces. Yeah, man.
Nobody
Like,
knows.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't, but yeah, go get that kid a fucking job.
Yeah, get him a job at 20 years old.
Because otherwise, what you're really doing is you're really setting a horrible example for the future. That kid's gonna be living with you for a long time.
We're just we're gonna be honest. We're just hating on him because we wish we could have not worked.
I mean, I would have been a lazy piece of shit for
Yeah,
sure.
I'd be so fat. Anyway,
Yes,
I'd
I'm
be
a,
like playing video games.
I'm a fat kid in this body all the time.
Me too.
Sophia from Boise, Idaho.
Oh, I love Idaho.
shout-
Idaho is actually my top 3 favorite states.
Is it really?
It is. I love Idaho. Idaho's got great outside stuff, man. It is actually a beautiful state.
Yeah, we're going to Iowa for the first time this year. For my son is a pro-am scooterer. I know it's something weird to say,
Scooter
but
boy.
it's an X Games thing for people out there
That's
who don't
cool.
know. And one of the national championship things is in Iowa this year. So we'll see what's in
awesome.
Iowa. But she wants to know, what is something you splurge on regularly that you consider totally worth it? Of course, she collects shoes. Is there anything that you like to, that money really kind of goes to, and
You know what I splurge my money on?
what? I'm going to say kids, but go ahead.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I was going to say.
I splurge. I have a hard time telling my youngest son no. Like,
It's awesome.
Well, he's a good kid. Like, for me,
He's adorable.
He's a good kid, man. He's a smart kid, and he like just perfect example. He cleaned my house the other weekend on his own. Like I
That's
took a nap,
awesome.
and like I fell asleep watching TV, and for like I don't know, like a half hour, 45 minutes, and I woke up and he's like, "Dad, come and see what I did." Now, let's keep in mind this kid's 10 years old, right? He's freaking just 10 years old, and I was like, "What?" And then he goes, "I said, can't you just show me?" And he goes, "I can't fold the apartment up." He's like, "Come here." And I walk out, and he not only just cleaned, he mopped, he put dishes away, he freaking put all his
Awesome.
like I'm like, holy crap, man. So then I went and spent like $100 on him. After
that's
I
great.
told him when I picked him up that I wasn't going to spend any money this weekend. Like, well, I'm not spending any money this weekend. I've been spending money on you every weekend. We're going to chill this weekend. We're not gonna do anything. And then he did that, and I was like, all right, we're gonna go spend.
We're going to go spend that money, baby.
We're gonna go spend $100.
I mean,
He's a good kid.
I taught my son this week how to take the bowl from the sink and put it in the dishwasher. So it was momentous, bro. It's fucking momentous. I'm so proud of him. I'm watching him now do it on his own.
Funny.
It's amazing.
It's so funny. Yeah. So I so like it was funny, man, because I took him to go get that cotton candy. That there's this giant cotton candy head.
Cotton candy's amazing.
Yeah, there's like this giant cotton candy art thing you can get that's like $22, and it could be.
It's all colors and stuff. And
yeah, it's pretty wild, right? So
Yeah,
I
it's
went there.
awesome.
I went to the mall to go get it, and there was a line of like 30 people, and I was like, "Fuck!" He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to stay in line, Dad." I'm like, "All right, let's walk around." So we go over, and he sees this Fortnite bus, Legos,
Yeah.
1,000 pieces.
And by the way, those things are expensive for people who don't know. They are really fucking expensive.
Like it was $100.
Yeah.
plus tax. You know what I mean? So he looks at it and he goes, "Oh." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "You see something you want?" He goes, "Yeah, I want that." He goes, "But I know it's expensive." And I told him, and this is why I said, "Listen, man, this is why I work a lot, and this is why I work 13-hour days, and I do everything I do for my social media, the podcast, and get everything moving forward in my life to make our lives better. But this is why I work so hard, so I can buy these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for you. But at the same time, I want you to earn these things. So I told him he has to be really good in school. I don't want any emails. I don't want anything coming back from the teachers telling me any kind of problems, or I'm going to take this back. I'm going to keep the receipt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take this back. But you're going to earn this by doing the work at school, right? And he made a deal with me, and he promised me. And dude, he went home It shows how this kid's amazing. He goes home and he takes this 1,000-piece Lego thing, and he spends from 9:30 till 1:30 in the morning putting that thing together. And it fell apart on him 3 times.
He did a day?
In a day.
Wow.
Dude, he literally put that whole thing together, man. Just sat there and put the whole thing together. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful piece of art.
It's awesome.
Like, yeah, it's very cool. So yeah. So that's what I do. I spend money on my kids.
Yeah, my wife's father is a giant Lego collector. Stopped because at some point you just have so many of them.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, and she's like, "Let's go to the Lego store and get him one." So I walk in, immediately see the Taj Mahal.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, "Fucking that one!"
Yeah, it's like $10,000.
Bro, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I take it off the shelf. I'm like, "It's Legos.
Yeah.
How much can this fucking thing be?"
Yeah.
$400 and something for a Lego.
Oh
set.
yeah, dude. No, yeah. Well,
So
yeah, dude. They're so
bananas.
expensive. They're so expensive.
It's crazy, but like I
But
said,
it's a good hobby. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good hobby. Like, it's great for kids, building engineering, the whole nine. Like, it's good stuff.
They do great. I mean, that stuff is fantastic. So I love sneakers. I have a gigantic sneaker collection, but I'm a sneakerhead in the fact that I wear them. So I don't I don't put them in shoe boxes, and I know people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't put them in shoe boxes. I wear them. If I buy them, I wear them. That's my jam. I like sneakers. But anything outside that, a t-shirt, some jeans. I
do like to wear a nice suit, man. I like to dress up.
Oh, you do like a suit.
I do like a suit. I just don't get any opportunities to
Yeah,
except for my modeling gigs when I get to put a suit on and stuff. But other than that, I'm constantly in sweatpants or a work shirt.
Yeah.
Like I live in that.
Well, that's the thing. I used to work in multiple jobs where it was a suit and tie all the time, and then it kind of went down. So my not wanting it is very revolting of it.
Yeah.
But if I had a job where I just casual all the time, I would love a good suit.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
same thing. So when I went to private school, I had to wear a tie and dress stuff, and I hated it. It wasn't until I worked as a blue collar construction guy for a long time that I appreciated putting on a suit.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. Like there's something about putting on some really nice clothes and looking sharp and not being like at the time I was doing construction dirty all the time. You know what I mean? Like there's something good about it.
The thing I want to do, I haven't done I can't even remember how long, but me and my wife talk about it. I would love to take her one day, and when our podcast blows up, for you people out there, thank you. This will happen. I want to take her to a black tie event where I get to wear a tux, and I get to see her in a gown.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I like that type of stuff, man. I like going to really fancy things.
Yes,
that
get
costs a lot of money.
and do some ballroom day. There's something about that fanciness and getting dressed up like that. I just look forward to.
Yeah, I like it, man. Expensive watches. I like expensive watches.
Oh, I love a good watch.
I love a good watch.
Yeah, you got a nice one on today. I noticed the color. All right, Kristen from Burlington, Virginia. This is specifically really for you, so I thought you could help her.
Oh, yeah.
It's a personal trainer question. She's struggling to find a personal trainer she feels understands her needs.
Mm-hmm.
She is, let me move my mouth. She's 45, 180 pounds, and she has not worked out for a number of years. So she just wants to know, from your particular advice, what kind of questions could she ask potential trainers to feel like she's really landed with somebody who knows what they're doing? Is there any maybe a couple things that she should definitely just ask?
Definitely has some experience.
Okay.
What client they like to work with. Usually you can tell. So when you have a trainer, they usually do a consultation, right? Where they take you through, and if they're a good trainer, they're going to ask you specific questions that are going to relate to you. They're going to be able to connect with you during that 45 minutes to 50-minute, that socialization right there. That first initial talk. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the biggest thing. I think people are afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask what their experience has been. Ask them, what type of people they've trained, how long they've been training. I find a lot of the new trainers, the younger ones, kind of get stuck in this box of training. They don't understand how to adapt and change. They have everybody do the same workout routine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you wanna make sure that you find somebody that specializes in what you need. So I would suggest that first you go to the gym.
Yeah.
And you observe, see who's busy, see what type of clients they're working with.
What's a good one?
And see how they interact with their clients. If you see a trainer that's working with multiple age clients, working with multiple weight clients, and has their clients doing multiple different things and not just all the same stuff, then that's the trainer you want. You want the trainer who is willing to adapt with what his client needs or her client needs.
Yeah, I mean, and I think to your point, I think the biggest takeaway that I would think of as a person going into those situations is if you're nervous. Everything Chris said is perfect. But if you are nervous about asking questions because you feel like you're asking to a person who's professional, just write them down so that you're not so nervous, so that you don't forget them and say, hey, I got a couple questions. And you can even lie and just say, hey, my family just wanted me to ask, can you help me answer these? I think just don't, I know it could be a little nervous. I always think of going in and meeting somebody like a personal trainer, almost like when you go in to meet a barber. And and somebody you're going to have to trust, but they're the expert, and you don't kind of know how to navigate that situation. It's like, oh, how long you been working? It's like you kind of want to know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You want to know,
who they work with, how many people they're cutting hair.
Yeah,
so
and you want to make sure, so again, observe, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions, and see how they respond. I've had clients of mine that ask me uncomfortable situation questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They try to press my buttons to see if I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm always able to respond very well to what they need. And again, you want to. So when you observe your trainer, when you observe your people at the gym, if you see them wandering around like they don't know what they're going to do next, it's not the trainer.
Not the trainer.
It's not the trainer you want. No.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to ask another question. And then once we ask this one, we'll look at some of these live feeds and see if we can grab some questions from our live audience. So if you're live with us and you can think of a question, start typing it in the chat so we can kind of roll.
Everything over on Instagram's is in Arabic or...
Is it a different language?
It's a totally different language. I don't know what it's in.
Or maybe it's just maybe that's
Scripts,
your new following. All right, so Natalie from Sacramento, California. My son finally caught me smoking pot. Oh, she's in California.
That's pretty funny. My son caught me smoking pot. That's funny.
It's
usually the other way around. I caught my son smoking pot. That's funny.
My son is Natalie from Sacramento, California. My son finally caught me smoking pot. He is 17, and we live in California, so I'm guessing it was probably about time. Have you ever been caught as a parent doing something that you wanted to hide from your kids?
Sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The 25-year-old, I'm guessing? Or
No. You're like, oh, I was just exercising.
Was it a very awkward?
Yeah, it was very awkward. It wasn't very cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. Freaking, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things that happens. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I would just say, Natalie, if you live in California and your kid's 17, and that state's had legal marijuana for, forever, I don't think it's all that crazy. Your kid's probably known for a long time, is my guess, and I probably wouldn't be too worried about it. But I guess you might as well have the conversation about it if they caught you.
Yeah.
So, that's really all I could think of. I mean,
Tell me why.
Oops, sorry.
that's her. Tell me why.
Yeah, the best part about that girl right there is that's a fake accent. She's faking it the whole time.
I told you about one of these podcasts we're on. I think the guy Shaggy, his real voice has no accent.
Yeah, has no accent to it.
But he did it for years. Yeah, I can see you want to chime in, but don't. Here's my advice to you: if you're a kid and you catch your parents doing something they shouldn't, just pretend you didn't see it. Just leave it alone.
No, if you're a kid and you catch your parents doing it, don't pretend you didn't see it.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. I caught my parents having sex once. It was so traumatic. And then it's a funny story behind that. So I caught my parents having sex, very traumatic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't know I caught them. But I caught the sounds and everything else, and I was like, oh my God, and I ran into my room. And then years later, I'm talking like years later, I was like 27 or 28. I just went custody of my oldest son, and I had to move back home for a little bit to get my finances straight.
Yeah.
And I was my section of my side of the house was separate, but there was still like, a hallway that connected, right?
Okay.
And I came down in the morning. I had this girl over. I give her a kiss, goodbye, and whatever. And we're on the outside. I have my own entrance and everything else. She leaves. I go in the other side where the kitchen's at, where my parents are at. And my mom's sitting there, and she's like, thank you, Christopher. I'm like, for what? She goes, well, I sent Dennis downstairs to get, your dad to get water, and he came back up with no water. And I was like, okay, what's that going to do with me? She goes, because all I heard was, oh, Chris, right? And I go, really? And she goes, yeah. And she's like, that's fucked up, Chris. Like, she's like, that's messed up. I was like, really? I was like, I remember being like, 11 or 12 and catching you and Dad. And I'm still traumatized.
I'm still remember the time.
I'm still traumatized. So you know what? You can just deal with that.
My dad was
both traumatized.
My dad was the worst because my parents would have sex and then not even with no care in the fucking world. My dad would walk around. He'd be whatever time it was. I don't remember.
Swinging, huh?
Just naked,
swinging,
walking through the hallway to the kitchen, get some a drink, up the stairs,
That's
and
so
like
funny.
you're just like Now I look back on it,
Yeah.
fucked up pops.
Yeah,
Fucked up.
yeah.
All right. And by the way,
funny.
to take a minute, my mother-in-law is on. Shout out Sandy, who figured out how to join. And my mother-in-law are on. So
Your mother-in-law. Let's
yeah, they're
get the whole
waiting.
family here.
I'm not going to talk about the family now that you guys are on. But do we have any TikTok? Or do you have TikTok? Oh yeah, you have
I
it
do
over
have
there.
TikTok, yeah.
Has anybody got a question from TikTok while I pull up the next one? By the way, shout out Jill. Hello,
over
Jill's
there.
been watching
Instagram?
us. Hope you got your miles in today.
South Dakota's calling in. How you doing, South Dakota?
Oh, shout
I
out
was in
South
South Dakota. Where the hell was that? I was in South Dakota somewhere.
Yeah.
Mother-in-law. I sent a lot of questions.
Oh, who was
I
it?
don't know.
I don't know. All right.
There you go.
You've traveled quite a bit. While we're looking for another one. Alejandro from Lisbon, Portugal writes in.
Portugal.
What's
up, Portugal?
Going across the pond here. Well, across the ocean. What's the strangest thing you've eaten while traveling? I myself hate fish and chips, and I definitely did not like cooked bugs, which I'm guessing is probably crickets.
Yeah. Well, you would hope. They have tarantulas.
Tarantulas
too.
is the other one, right?
They have hissing cockroaches.
Could you eat any of that stuff?
Yeah. So it was all right. So I got a good story. I'll make it quick. My oldest son, I was trying to convince him to eat food besides McDonald's and pizza and pasta and all that stuff, And so I told him, I said, listen, man, food is one of those things in life that was given to us to try. It's like an art thing. Like, you have to try it. You can't say you don't like it until you try it. Because it might be something amazing, right?
Very valid point.
And there's some really food out there that doesn't look very edible, but when you try it, you're like, wow, that was pretty amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I told him this, and I got him eating fish and all this stuff, and he was all about it. Like, he loved mussels then, and he
Yeah.
And then we went to a wild game fest
Okay.
up at the Liedenkrausen, which is like a German place. We go up to this wild game fest. His friend invites me, we go. It's a big ordeal. There's probably like 200 people there, and they have all these different meats. So they had like beaver tacos, which was ironic.
That's
and
crazy.
they had beaver tacos. They had bison burgers.
It literally took me like half a second. And
They
then I'm
catch that?
and I go, oh,
Beaver tacos.
It's
You
ironic.
saw the irony in that, right?
Yes.
Beaver tacos. They
Good
had
call.
freaking bison burgers. They had elk kebabs, all this different stuff. Wild boar, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then again, I just got my son eating seafood, right?
Yeah.
So we go over and they have Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oh, I know what they are.
Do you know what Rocky Mountain
Yes,
oysters
I
are?
do know
All
what they
so
are.
for anybody that doesn't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, that is fried bull testicles.
Yes, bull nuts.
Bull nuts, big.
And by the way, a lot
Big.
of people they serve them, right?
Yes, they serve them. So there's these huge bull testicles that are fried, and my son just sees oyster, so he grabs it, he puts it on his plate, and I'm like, oh no, I'm having one of those real life moments where I gave him bad advice. I was like, do I really? I was like, fuck, what do I do? Like, do I tell him, or do I keep my word?
Yeah.
Right? Do I follow through on what I said? Right? So you know what I did? I put a bull testicle on my plate.
Okay.
I threw a Rocky Mountain oyster, put it on my plate. We both walk over to the table. We're sitting at the table, and there's like 50 people at the table. We're sitting in the middle.
And he doesn't know what it is, right?
He thinks it's an oyster.
But you know what it is.
I know exactly what it is,
Okay.
right? So we're sitting at the table, and everybody starts talking about it. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we came here to try this. We've heard so much about it. We came here to try this, And my son looks at me, and I'll never forget this. He's sitting across from me. My son looks at me. He goes, "Dad, why are they making a big deal? It's just an oyster." And I go, "No, no, it's really not. It's really not just an oyster." And he goes, "Well, what is it?" And I go, "Listen, we're both going to try this for the first time together. This is going to be a bonding moment for us. We are both going to try this Rocky Mountain oyster together, right?" So we both cut it, and everybody hears us, and they go, "Oh, really? You guys, we're all going to try it together then." So everybody's in on it.
Okay.
All 50 people at the table. Cut it in, put a fork up, and they all hold their fork up, right? And my son's still trying to figure out what the big deal is.
It's an oyster.
What the big deal is, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Everybody's in on it, right? So we're all going to eat this Rocky Mountain oyster right now. And we bite it. We eat into it. And my son looks at me, and he goes, "Dad," he goes, "What's the big deal?" He goes, "It tastes like a chicken nugget from McDonald's." And I go, "Oh my God. Is that what McDonald's meant by the other white meat?"
The other
I was
white
like,
meat.
"Is that what I've been eating this whole time? Have they been serving bull testicles and chicken nuggets?" Because he was right. It tastes like a chicken nugget. And it was the funniest thing ever. And it was so funny because then I told him, he goes, "Well, what's the big deal?" I said, "Well, actually, Isaiah, it was a bull testicle that was fried." And he goes, "Wait, what?" And he starts laughing. He goes, "You wouldn't let me eat that." I go, I did. I was like, but I ate it with you. And he got really mad at me. He's like, are you kidding me right now? And I was like, well, I ate it with you. It was a bonding experience,
Yes,
bro.
we made
and I was
it.
like, right, we made it through. It tastes like a chicken nugget. We don't have to eat it anymore. And the best part is when you go off to college and people are like, oh, I bet you $50 you won't eat that. You're like, I already ate the worst thing I possibly could, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to eat it, right? So you win $50. So look at it that way. But yeah, that was a life lesson.
That's great.
It was so fun.
I don't think I could. At this age, I think I've missed out on all those opportunities to sneak anything in.
No, yeah. Now he's going to question.
The only thing, the funny part was the only mistake I ever made in doing anything like that was I think I've had Cricket protein powder, but I'll be honest with you, I mean it's shredded, so who cares? I've never really. Only thing I don't like is uni. I think uni is fucking disgusting.
I don't think I've ever had uni.
Uni's don't ever eat it. It's the only sushi that it's sea urchin, and they cut it open and they just leave the jelly looking.
Oh no, that's
awful.
okay. No,
if you're
disgusting.
the texture thing bothers you, it would be awful.
I know
But,
the texture thing. Yeah.
I remember just wanting my son to eat different stuff, and now then at 10 he's eating sushi. And while it sounds great, then
It's expensive as hell.
Then you're ordering out, and you're
Yeah, it's
like
$100 for a freaking little small thing of freaking sushi.
I order from the Orient Empire, and I just get sushi and like some Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
And every time I walk in there, they hand me 2 bags and they act like I'm having a party, and it's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
now that's what he eats.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
No, it's expensive shit, man.
Yeah, I should have
But
learned.
I love sushi too.
Yes, it's so good though.
Have you ever heard the sushi song?
The sushi? No.
Sushi song?
I can't even say that.
Yeah, sushi song. There's a sushi song.
I did the same thing. I go sushi song.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to Google that. There's a guy who sings about it, man. Freaking, he's like, yeah, it's funny as hell.
I'm gonna
it's
Google
a funny commercial. Yeah, it's a Google thing. Google that, man. It's funny as hell.
All right. And we're getting. And by the way, I say it every episode. We're getting to the end.
We're getting to the end already. We just started.
I know. Yeah, I feel like. Hey, I feel like thanks to you guys, the questions, the participation makes it awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting a little better,
Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Please subscribe, follow, share.
Subscribe, like, share. That'll be a big thing at the end. We'll remind you guys. All right. Alex from Chicago. I impulsively bought a motorcycle last weekend, and now I'm worried. Am I experiencing a midlife crisis? What are the signs of a midlife crisis, and how can you cope?
Here's my question to that. I have a question for the question.
Oh, nice.
Did you get married? Did you have a baby by accident? No? Then you're good, bro. Buy as many motorcycles as you want. Now, who cares? Buy as many motorcycles, buy a car.
Have you ever had any? I had a buddy. I was in my 20s. My friend was in his 20s. His older brother just turned 40 and disappeared. And I mean, no joke. I was dating somebody, has 2 kids from another baby mama, and out of nowhere, gone. Nobody could find him for 2 weeks. And this motherfucker
That's
came,
amazing.
And he came, and we, and you're like worried. Then you do call the cops, and then then we parent got a note that said that he's okay. Comes back with a new white Acura 2-door coupe, and he's like, he's like, I had a midlife crisis, I had to get away. I was like,
That's so funny.
what is going on? But I don't know. I don't feel that at all.
I always joke around and say me getting married was my midlife crisis, and then getting divorced. I should have bought a car; it would have been cheaper.
And you got to keep the car.
I would have got to keep the car. Yeah, and the car wouldn't have been that bad.
A lot of things.
A lot of things, but yeah. So no, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself financially, man. If you want to spend money on a bike, spend money on a bike, bro.
Look, if you get to a point where you feel like you're not accomplishing or you haven't done enough, I'll be honest with you. Just go do it. You can't take it with you. I mean, me and my son always joke about stuff that makes no sense to buy.
Yeah.
But you got to have those things. So we talk about all the time. Like our big running one is I always tell them, like, you'll know the podcast is successful when you come home and I got a new Porsche in the driveway.
Yeah, right, dude. Dude. When I'm driving a freaking Lambo,
when
successful.
When you see the new car and it's one of those, you're gonna go, all right.
Listen, the podcast will be successful when we do a tour.
I can't wait to do a tour.
Yeah, I can't wait to do a tour. We want to come to your town. We want to come to your town, do a tour, do a book signing, do that whole thing. So make this show amazing, and we'll do a tour.
Yeah.
We'll come around.
Somebody
did ask, though, and I just want to throw this in real quick. Did we get an update on Mateo?
No, I looked. I went through everything.
No
Mateo yet.
No update on Mateo.
I have his email address. So to be honest with you guys, I usually do this on Mondays or Tuesday mornings. I put all the questions together.
Yeah.
And I searched for it, and then I was going to reach out to him. But I promise everyone, I will reach out to Mateo.
Yeah, we'll try to find
and
Mateo.
I hopefully will get a
The whole
response.
babysitter pregnant story.
Oh, yes.
That's a great story. We're all hanging on the T there, bro.
Yes, for anyone who didn't
Yeah.
know, go back to episode 7. Mateo got his babysitter pregnant as a kid, and we need some more answers from that.
Somebody just asked if we were AI. Yes, we are completely fake right now.
Oh, my God.
Completely AI generated. That's why my hands look great.
This is AI is getting so amazing.
Yeah, no.
I thought this was a good one, and so this will kind of bring us towards the end, but it's getting to that time of the year. Philippe from Santiago, Chile.
Santiago, Chile.
So, what's the craziest fitness challenge you guys completed? I like to do triathlons. I've done 5Ks. I've done a lot of races. Do you guys ever get into that kind of stuff?
I did.
It's
I
getting
did
to
a
be that
very-
type of year.
I did a mini Ironman in my late
Ooh,
teens.
you did a swim?
I did the whole thing. Yeah, and I got a bronze. It wasn't a big. It wasn't like the Iron Man, but it was like a mini.
Bro, you're
It
still.
was like a mini Iron Man, and
It's
and I did
still
that.
it's crazy distances.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun. It was a good time, man.
Well, it's got to
Yeah.
be at least a mile swim, 12 and a half. It's got to be 50 bike and 12 and
Yeah,
a
it
half.
wasn't that. It was like
It's like a half
It was
marathon?
more, it was like a half. It was like a half of everything.
Yeah,
You
but
know
that's
what I mean?
awesome
But,
still.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
It was good. It was fun. It was a good time, man. It was one of those things I can look back on. I still have the medal.
Well-
so I can look back. I'm like, I did that once.
Yeah, I do. I did one. I got on a little roll where I was doing one a year because I would win my age bracket.
Yes.
So I've done modified triathlons. I've done I've done obstacle course races and stuff like run,
I always
bike,
wanted to do the
run.
Spartan race.
Done the Spartan race.
Have you done the Spartan race? Is it
Done the
fun?
warrior race. Yeah, you know what it is. It's more fun. You have to go with. You really should go as like 2 or 3 people or like a little group that you can have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because the one I did was, and I can't remember if Spartan or what, but it was 13 miles and 20 some obstacles. And, it takes a couple hours to get through and you're waiting in line to get to stuff. But at one point I had to jump off something 30 feet into this cold water. And it must have been on like I think it was mile 9 or 10. And I got out and both legs cramped at the same time.
Oh,
And I couldn't walk. I mean, locked up like bricks.
that's terrible.
And then there's always an obstacle somebody can't get over, or the end is always the wall, which
Yeah.
is nothing but mud. And everyone in a really good way does you climb up, they'll grab your hand, pull you up. But my point of it anyways was when I went, we went in we were talking about, you had biker shorts and spandex last episode.
Yeah.
I had a
Good.
whole I had Captain America underwear and
awesome.
painted my face.
Captain
And-
America.
Yeah, that's where you go fun. And at the end, but the crazy part is you do a hard one. You get to the end, they give you your medal. They go to give you a beer. You want no part.
No parts of that
You
beer.
want no parts of it.
Yeah.
No, you're like, no, no. It's and then the crazy part is I went on a date. I scheduled a date for after that race, and it was the worst decision of my life.
Yeah, I bet.
It was awful, but I like doing them. So me and my wife are gonna do we're doing a 5K, and then she's in talks with me to do the half marathon again.
You have fun with that. I'm not running.
I-
Remember when the days are over.
I like running, so 13 miles is nothing for me, but like it just whether she wants to pull the trigger or not. All right. Outside that, let's see. Do we have any other person on there? I got a million at
Anybody
the
on here?
end, but I just want to see. Anyone have a live?
Anybody have a question on live?
Let's
Episode 9
see.
is going to be awesome. Stay tuned. Thank you, Connie.
Oh yeah, Connie.
Yeah,
thanks.
Connie's on there watching.
Connie, I'd be disappointed if you weren't.
What's the one thing you believed as a kid that seems ridiculous now?
Okay. Well, outside the Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, which fucked me up a little bit.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
As a kid,
should I be cynical?
of course you could be cynical.
True love. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just
Relationships are meant to ask.
No,
Family.
Yeah, family. No, just kidding. I'm just playing. No, I don't know if you can. What did I believe in as a kid that I thought that's ridiculous now? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm too old. I don't remember what I believed when I was a kid.
To be honest with you, I liked. Yeah, you know what? I think anything. I think the fun part is here's what I'm actually going to spin the question back in this direction, and I'm going to look at it this way. I like, and I think you're a big proponent of this as well. I don't think anything's impossible.
No.
So I like having those kid dreams. I like thinking that anything can happen.
Here's a question I got asked today.
Okay.
What is reality?
Well, I guess it's got to be how you perceive the world. I guess in a short version.
So reality is a perspective,
Yeah,
right?
your perspective of the
So what it comes down to is the fact that reality is an imagination, right? So really, whatever you imagine is your reality. right? So that's why we're building stuff now that we never thought these be called
Yeah.
science fiction, right? So yeah. I like that question. What is your reality? What is reality to you? Yeah.
Yeah. And look, and I think, and that should be a good way as we segue into the end of episode 8. But, you know, for you guys out there, the people who are joining us live, the people on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and my family and friends and giving us stuff. The reality of it is, if you don't dream big, take chances, and you listen to people, you're not going to get to where you want to be. I had somebody come up to me in the gym today, and it was really nice. They just came up and said, "Hey, listen to the podcast. I just started listening to episodes. I really, really like it. You guys doing a great job."
That's awesome.
And I just remember thinking, like, that's what it's about. But he asked me, he goes, "What do you got? Oh, like, what's the?" I go, "There is no. I just want to keep doing it, and whatever happens, happens."
Yeah.
And I go, "We're having fun. It's a good time." But I really do love.
Well, this would be like anything else in life, right? We'll grow and we'll evolve and we'll learn together.
Yeah. And with you guys. So on my part, before Chris closes us out, thank you for the episode of showing all our cool stuff. Shout out to Bagels and Books and P.O. Boxes and websites to be up next week, which is awesome. Thank you for joining us live. But, part of our success, I say it every episode, is the fact all of our success is really because you guys join. You guys join live. You download. All I ask in return is if you like the show and you like what we do, please like, subscribe, share, tell people about it. And we promise you every day we come in, we're just going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
And that's what I can promise you guys.
We'll keep getting better as long as you guys keep sending us better questions. That's the key, right? Send us good questions. We'll have good answers. I mean, because we are Advice Unfiltered, right? Right? Absolutely, man. So listen, from here, Tony, you're good?
Yep.
All right. So from here, man, I just want to say, as always, man, we believe in you. We believe in the best in you. I want a big shout out to all you people on Instagram. I think I just hit 61,000 today in followers, which is awesome. So shout out to you guys for following me on Instagram. To you people on TikTok who have made my videos go viral. I think I have 3 videos right now that are just going crazy. Thank you. Same to Instagram. You guys make my videos go crazy. I think I have one that's over 3 million and one that's over 2 million. And so thank you guys, man, for all the love and support. I think it's amazing. I really do appreciate it all. And go to our site, go to Advice Unfiltered, subscribe, follow, share, like it. Because the more you like it, the more you share it, the more we'll be here, and the more we'll do this. And we want to do this. So for Tony Rodriguez, for Christopher David, this is Advice Unfiltered.